Thoughts?
Why did the disciples go into a Canaanite village,
A Samaritan.
a Samaritan
Yeah.
village, to buy food, when you said they're not supposed to touch anything that the Samaritans?
Sure.
Why eat from what a Samaritan eats?
Maybe they can go get some vegetables. Maybe there's something there that can, but they're not really supposed to do that with anything. They're really not supposed to do that with anything. They're not supposed to use any utensils. It's strange. Why does he have to go to Samaria, first of all? Did he have to go to Samaria? You saw the map. Couldn't he go around the Transjordan up to Galilee? It says he had to go to Samaria. Let me ask you something. If it's the 80s in the first century, okay, and you're a Jesus group, and you have Samaritans coming into your Jesus group, what gospel are you going to give them? Matthew's? The Matthean Jesus says, go to no Samaritan town or village, don't go to any house of the Gentiles, only go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Is that the gospel you're going to give to the Samaritans? But now listen, if you're Luke's community, right, you're going to have these stories suddenly appear in your gospel that aren't in Mark or Matthew. Like the story of the Good Samaritan. Where's that found? That's only in Luke, not in Mark or Matthew. Matthean Jesus would never tell that story, ladies and gentlemen. No way. But in Luke, you got the story of the Good Samaritan. Why? Maybe because Luke has Samaritans coming into his Jesus group? And he needs a way to explain it. Isn't it also in Luke where we find that story about the Samaritan leper who comes back to thank Jesus because obviously he has nothing in common with the Judeans. The Judeans who get healed, they can go to temple. Can the Samaritan go to the temple? He's got a snowball chance in hell of ever seeing Jesus again, so he says, thank you, get the hell out of my life, I gotta go. It's the best thing he can give Jesus, because there's no way he's going to ever meet Jesus again. So thank you. That's what you say in the Middle East when you have no chance of ever meeting somebody again. The relationship has to be terminated. That is when you say thank you. Not when you get invited to somebody's house and you bring flowers and then they get upset because they have to give you your prayer beads because they have to greet you with a gift. They already gave you a gift, come to dinner, and your proper response is just showing up. You come to dinner with flowers and you give it to the old man of the house, the old man gets everybody starts screaming in the house, frantically looking to give you a better gift to outdo your gift. Otherwise, they've lost honor. So then he comes out again and gives you the prayer beads, and what do you tell them, Americans? Thank you, which means I don't want to come to dinner and I'm done with relating to you. But the Good Samaritan leper says to Jesus, thank you. Because I was in the wrong place at the right time. I was in the right place at the wrong time. I don't know. Got a snowball's chance in hell of ever seeing you again? Thanks. Nice knowing you.
Question.
Yeah.
How did she know he was the Christ?
How did she know? It works great in a story, doesn't it? Are you still treating this story as if it's real? You should. It's true. Are you still treating this story as if it's factual? How does she know? Well, let's see. Jesus revealed himself to her through a series of steps in which she became emotionally embedded and joined in with his private space. Western eyes don't see it. I'm going to make you see it tonight. She became, slowly but surely, through these misunderstandings and clarification, leading to further misunderstanding and clarification, more and more intimate with him, until finally, she and her whole village became part of the Technotheu, the Johannine Jesus group.
That's not the point. The point is that when she talks to the people in the town, she says, I think he is the Christ.
Yeah.
Did everybody there know who the Christ was?
No, but they knew who she was.
What do you expect of them?
Prostitute?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Did he say he is the Christ, or can he be?
She asked, can he? That's another thing that's very important about Johannine faith. Johannine faith, please understand this, is not intellectual. When people come to Jesus and say, we know, That's a big problem. Who came to Jesus and said, we know, I know? Nicodemus. And he was in the darkness. So when you read faith in John, please, Western people, Western Catholic people, don't think that that means belief. Like he accepts everything in a creed like we do. It's not intellectual. It's loyalty. In-group loyalty. She may still be questioning things about who exactly Jesus is and this and that, but she's emotionally embedded herself in the body of Christ in a way that Nicodemus never could. How can I be born again? I'll lose my status. I'm one of 1% to 2%. I don't want to be born again. You get your honor primarily through being ascribed it, through birth. Yeah.
So I'm looking at my little chart.
All right.
And where did Johnny get all this information? If he never read the other Gospels? I mean, he just made all of this up?
A lot of these stories, yeah.
Because he's so different. He's from outer space, as you said.
Sure. Everything he wants to tell us is in the first 18 verses. This is nothing new. This is just a development, a little vignette he paints together that tells us what verses 1 through 18 tell us. Remember what verses 1 through 18 told us? He came to his own people, but his own people, Nicodemus, received him not. He came to his own place, but he was not received there. But to those who did receive him, he gave the power to become teknetheu, children of God, the Johannine Jesus group's own name for their own community, their own anti-society, who were born not of mixing of bloods, not of natural generation, sexual reproduction, not of sexual desire, and not of the desire for a man to have an heir, but from God. So the answer to Tony's question is the pneuma of God enlightened her, and she was open to that. But Nicodemus was not. And you see how you have to read these stories together? You see that now, right? You read them apart, you don't get it. It's only if you can make a comparison and contrast that you begin to understand what the story is saying by itself. It's not saying something by itself, it's saying something in relation to the other vignette. And all of these stories in light of the first 18 verses. Everything he wants to tell us is in the first 18 verses. None of this is new information. No new information. This is crabgrass. It's just spelling. It's like doing a little dance performance of what's happening. Oh, and by the way, there's this. Part of the people who were born of God, who became part of the teknetheu, were bastardized Israelite Samaritans. But it's okay, because they claimed they came to the light. So it's not about their natural generation. It's not about the mixing of bloods. It's not about who their parents were. It's about whether they were born of God, and that comes from God, from Skyvault. Nicodemus can't get that. The Israelites can't. The Judeans can't get that. But we get it in the Johannine community. Because you know why? The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. And we have seen his doxa. Doxa as of the only Son of the Father. So you don't get it? It's not about this. Hey, thanks for watching. Just continue the playlist for the next part of the study. If you have further questions, this is good. They will get addressed, so keep watching. If you found value, please subscribe, like, and share. As always, questions, comments, and criticisms are most welcome. God bless you.